Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dance On News and Reviews. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscription button, click the notification bell to be notified whenever I make a post, upload, or go live. Hit that like button and drop a comment, ladies and gents. We're going to be talking about 5 reasons Vybz Kartel will walk free. Reason number 5. The chain of custody was broken on the evidence regarding the cellular phone that was left on top of the locker in the police station. Oh, does that affect the trial? Oh, does that affect the outcome of this Privy hearing? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, that is negligence at its highest level. That piece of evidence, the cellular phone, should have been under protection, under lockdown. For some reason, that cellular phone was out and it was being used to make phone calls and send messages. So that phone is corrupt, contaminated, and evidence cannot be taken from that cellular phone. Therefore, we have a major issue. Say, for example, there's a mistrial and they decided to do a retrial and they wanted to use evidence from that cellular phone. Guess what? That can no longer be used because you cannot go back and check the validity. They cannot go back and re-examine the evidence on the cellular phone. They cannot retake the information off. They can't check to see if the cellular phone was legit, it wasn't tampered with. They cannot have an expert go over the cellular phone and say, let me check to see the dates and everything, the backlog on the phone, to see if it's actually real, that it was real evidence taken from the cellular phone and not somebody placed information onto the cellular phone, then take it off of the cellular phone. It's just too much complication. Now that piece of evidence is contaminated. Guess what? That is out the question. Negligence at its highest level, whether it's purposeful, accident, however you take it, that piece of evidence should have been on the lockdown. The evidence that was taken from that cellular phone is paramount to the case. Therefore, that piece of evidence have to be protected and preserved. And guess what? They did not do that. So that's out. Reason number 4. The gathering of the telecommunication evidence breached the accused civil rights to privacy. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know the specifics, the intricacies behind this. Basically, the defense brought this up and they cited this as a major reason why they took this to the Privy Court, that this is one of the major reasons to this case, that they did not receive a fair trial because their rights to privacy when it comes to the telecommunication evidence was breached. I don't know if they did not have warrant. I don't know if they took the cell phones and examined them without proper due processing. I do not know, by which means they gathered the telecommunication evidence, whether legal or non-legal. Did they force Digicel to come forth with the information? Did they take the cell phone information themselves? Did they steal the information? Did they bribe someone to get the information? Did they gather the information under false pretenses? I have no idea. Maybe Digicel did not have the right to grant the information. I don't know. But the defense is making the case that the civil rights of these individuals were breached. Reason number 3. There was an attempt by one of the jurors to bribe the other jurors to come back with a not guilty verdict. Oh my, oh my, oh my. And the judge did not dismiss that juror. Talking about a conundrum, being caught between a rock and a hard place. My, the judge was definitely caught with his pants down. And this decision is a tough decision. With one of the jurors already dismissed and they were already down to 11 jurors. Guess what? This attempted bribe, if he were to dismiss that juror, then it would have been a mistrial at that point. So the judge was caught in a very sticky and very peculiar situation. What to do, what not to do. But guess what? He decided to keep the juror and go forward. And today we have the question, was the jury pool poisoned by this juror? Reason number 2, the jury pool was tainted. Therefore, the verdict could not have been rendered fairly. The poisonous fruit, the poisonous tree, the fruit of the poisonous tree, or one bad apple spoiling the bunch. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the conundrum. Did they render a verdict fairly? Is it even possible to render a fair verdict knowing what those jurors would have known? That this juror is trying to bribe them to come back with a not guilty verdict. Why is he trying to bribe them to come back with a not guilty verdict if the defendants are actually innocent? If they're innocent, they would rely on the judgment of the jury. If they're trying to circumvent the trial, that means chances are they're guilty, right? Or they're afraid that they're going to be found guilty. Therefore, they're trying to circumvent that verdict. So it's a sticky situation. That is now the inception planted consciously or unconsciously in the minds of these jurors. So is it just about the evidence? Did this play a role? Could they have rendered the verdict fairly? Who knows? We don't know, but the doubt is still there. And everyone is asking the same question. Why would you go forward if the pool of jurors were tainted? If a juror attempted to bribe, why would the judge not just rule in a mistrial? So definitely, this is a stress point, a stumbling block in this case. And for sure, this is going to cause a mistrial or a dismissal. Reason number one, ladies and gentlemen, have you hit that like button yet? Have you hit that subscription button yet? If you're enjoying this content, please subscribe to the channel for more and more content. Number one, a mistrial would mean that Vybz Kartel and his co-accused would walk free. The entire case is tainted from start to finish. There is no way they can actually do a retrial and Vybz Kartel and his co-convicts get a fair trial. The entire case has been tainted. There is no way on this planet, no way on earth they can find 12 jurors in Jamaica that won't give a biased verdict if they were to do a retrial. Just think about it logically. You're either going to be in favor of them or you're going to be against them. Take a walk with me, right? Vision this perspective. A new jury pool. This new jury pool would be thinking, hey, what took place in the last trial? Oh, they found them guilty, but they got off on a technicality, so we're doing a retrial. So most likely they were guilty. It's just that the prosecution did not do their due diligence properly. Therefore, we're doing a retrial. Them guilty. Them guilty. Oh, there was a jury that tried to bribe the other jurors. Oh, guilty. Like, that's madness. So there's no way they can get a fair trial. On top of that, the cellular phone evidence cannot be re-examined. They cannot go back to the cellular phone and regather evidence again. Because guess what? It was tampered with. They cannot go back to the house that the crime actually took place and gather evidence again, forensic or anything like that, because it was bulldozed and bucked down. So there is no going back there. So it was already a circumstantial filled written case, and a lot of those threads have been pulled out over the course of time. So there's no way they can regather all of that information. I don't even know if they can acquire the eyewitness to come back and testify. I doubt it. So I don't think the prosecution have a case for retrial. Absolutely not. On top of that, there's been so much money spent by the defense throughout this entire process from the original trial and the appeals that you're going to put them back through it again. It has cost way too much. So putting them back through the ringer, it would be definitely prejudice. So we will wait and see, definitely. So those are 5 reasons I believe Vybz Kartel and his co-accused, co-convicts will walk free. Do you agree or disagree with any of the points I made? Drop a comment, share your views. Love and respect. If you enjoy this content, once again, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more and more and more. Blessings. I'm out.